All right. We will see what's going on. Back again, another Sunday. Good evening, everyone. We'll give folks another minute to hop on in. Pretty sure I didn't mess up the audio this time. I think we're good. My wife got me some tea, kind of calm me down. It's been a day. How you doing, Scipio? You good? Okay. All right, let's jump into it. It's peak season, so I know you carriers are tired and you don't want to be on here all frickin' day. Clerks too. You're gonna have that morning rush in the morning, so we don't want to do that to you guys. So we're just gonna go on ahead. Hey, Scipio, how you doing? Yeah, I know it's a thing, but yeah, let's jump right in, guys. All right, so I'm going to start with my usual housekeeping rules. Okay, so got the disclaimer. The information presented in this live broadcast represents my personal opinions, expresses, and perceptions. Nothing stated in this video should be interpreted as legal advice, factual findings, or statements of guilt, liability, or wrongdoing by any individual, agency, or organization. I am currently represented by legal counsel and will not be discussing confidential case strategy, legal advice, privileged communications, or anything material covered under attorney-client privilege. Any references made during the broadcast to events, documents, or individuals are based solely on my personal experience and are not intended to defame, accuse, or attribute illegal conduct to any person. All viewers are encouraged to form their own conclusions based on publicly available information. This broadcast is protected speech under the First Amendment, the Whistleblowers Protection Act, and other applicable federal protections. My participation in this discussion does not waive any legal rights, remedies, or claims currently in process. If you have questions regarding legal implications, please consult a licensed attorney. Okay? Due to ongoing legal proceedings and federal protections, I may decline to answer certain questions or provide details that my attorney advises against discussing. Now that the housekeeping rules have been placed in effect, good evening. Happy Sunday to those that are celebrating the holiday weekend. My name is Angel, and I am a manager of customer service in Miami West Carrier Annex in Miami, Florida. I've been off of duty the last several months due to ongoing issues with the U.S. Postal Service, and as such, as you've heard from my disclaimer, I'm now in litigation, so that'll be about all I can say concerning that situation at this time. But we started the Postal Truth to help the community. Help the postal community, and eventually it was my desire to branch off into something more open for everybody or other agencies and whatnot, and that is still the intention of the matter. But due to my personal issue that we've went over with a few minutes ago, I kind of have to limit what I say and how I reply to certain things. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where the slightest thing can be misconstrued by other individuals. So today is open mic. My wife will be monitoring the chat thread. So, there's a little delay in between. So if I don't jump in right away and answer your question, I apologize. There's a delay. I'm going to give you guys some things we can talk about because I'm trying again to have a fair shot at this. I mean, it's important that the federal government understand and know what's happening. So I want to do it right. Okay. So the rules for today, basically things I can talk about. Hey Josh, how you doing? Things I can talk about is my personal feelings and things that I'm going through. We'll get into that in a minute. Public known events, I can talk about that. Workplace culture concerns, that's a real hot topic in its own. Okay. Policy violations that are already documented, not things that have not been documented yet, but things that are actually citable. Okay. How retaliation affected me mentally, financially, and emotionally. I can talk a little bit about that, but again, that's a gray area, so I may not even talk about that either. Okay. My mission to expose systemic issues has been the main goal of the Postal Truth, and I want that to be the focus point of this, and I want to help you guys as much as possible. The goal again is to give you guys the tools you need to kind of hold your own. You know, sometimes you're put in a position where you get no help from nobody, and because you get no help from nobody, you have to learn these things on your own and kind of stand on your own 2 feet. And it's hard. It's hard. This today was one of those hard days for me. But before we get into that, I hope everybody's Thanksgiving was amazing. Mine was, believe it or not, it was actually great. Jess and I, we cooked together, we talked, we laughed, we played music, we watched a little TV to kind of get my mind off of things. Because, you know, I have my up and down days. So, you know, Thursday I was good. Friday I was like, you know, and then Saturday I was okay again. And then today is like, ugh, you know, like one of those, it's like, it's a seesaw, you know. It's hard. It's really, really, really hard. But I'm still, you know, forcing myself to get up and do this. I mean, I'm not going to lie, today I felt like I was like, well, I'm not in the best mood. Should I even do the show today? I don't know. And then you find yourself looking for excuses, you know? And it's hard. Let me tell you. I've been through some rough things in my life, but this takes the cake. I mean, I had a little bit of gray hair before I moved here, but now I have it on I'm starting to get it all over the place. And I'm only 42. So, yeah, that bothers me because I'm not used to having that. It's rough. You know who your true friends and family are when you go through stuff like this. People who call you all the time, check on you. They know you. They know what you're going through, so they try to support you the best way that they can. And then you have those friends and those family members in your circle that don't even bother picking up the phone and talking to you. You know. I'll give you an example before we start taking some questions here, if there's any in the comments. Freighter Scipio, along with another person I know, Jake. His name is Jake. I won't give his last name, just his first name. But Jake and Scipio, they got together and they got me these collection edition books. I love books. I'm an old school guy. I like books. I love technology though, so I read a lot of books on my tablet and on my phone because it's just convenient. But certain books, like I want them. You know, I'm just that way. I guess I'm cheesy that way. But anyway, they knew I was having those up and down things, and they got together and they each bought me a book. That was like that was real awesome of them. I mean, those damn books are not cheap either. You know, I read some, you know, a lot of different topics and stuff. I don't just always read work stuff because, you know, again, you have to do things to keep your mind busy, you know. Because if you don't, you fall into this little pit like I'm in today. But yeah, guys, are there any questions in there? Nothing yet? Okay. Well, yeah, Scipio and Jake, I don't know if Jake is on or not, but if he's not, and I know Scipio's on. Thank you so much for that. It really, it came in the mail, and I was just like, what the hell? And I mean, the books are beautiful. I mean, they're kind of big, and kind of beefy. A lot of spiritual stuff and things that I read when I have the time to actually sit down and do it. Chasing a 7-year-old and doing stuff around here, and then my dog's like, forget it. She's super needy. Oh. My wife kicked the table, and she has like tea on her table with a cup of like that much soda in there, and you feel the waves just going. But yeah, guys. I mean, open mic. If you got a question, I will do my best to answer it within the confines of my restrictions. Now, I will talk about public things that's happening right now. For an example, Lino is actually working on a fantastic project, and he asked me for some input on it, and I've been giving him little things here and there to help him along with it. But I think it's a fucking fantastic idea what he came out with. I wanted to do something similar, but his is a little bit more elaborate than what I wanted to do. But you know what? We support each other here. You understand? So he asked for advice. He asked for information. And that's what I did. I sent it to him. So he can use that to help more people. You understand? He's building an application. We'll start with that. He's building an application. And he did post this online already, so it's already public knowledge. So it's not anything I'm not talking about that's not already public. But yeah, anyway, he's building this application. And it's supposed to help people like you, like me, carriers. For now, it's centered around carriers mostly, to help you guys get an answer. Because sometimes, again, we don't, for whatever reason, don't jive with our shop stewards, or you have your association not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're siding with management, or whatever the reason is. It's good to have something that you can open up on your browser. Excuse me. The tea. You could open it up on your browser. Is the dog still locked up? Yeah. Probably let her out. Yeah. My dog is wrestling around back then. I'm like, what's all that noise? So I told my wife, if the dog's loose, let her go. But yeah. She usually sits next to me here on the floor when I'm doing the podcast. But anyway, the application, I got a little peek at it. He showed me a little bit, told me about it, and we went over some stuff. And yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. I mean, like, you can just open your browser on your phone, on your computer, your tablet, touch screen in your car. Like, I know in the Tesla you have a browser, so you could actually open it up there. Anywhere that there's a browser with HTML or CSS connectivity, you can pull this up right there on display. I think it has a lot of potential. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think it's good. You can type your situation in one little box there. I won't go too much into it, but the little bit I saw, I was very pleased with it. Again, it's not for me, because it's for you guys. Like, my time is just about setting, and most of you guys are starting off on your career. You want to have that support factor, and it's hard saying that, I never thought at 42 years old I would say something like that, but reality is hitting me now. But yeah, anyway, the program, you type your issue in one of the boxes. I won't describe it too much due to privacy issues, but yeah, you type your information. Well, so we'll use a situation that's actually live documented. Okay. The issues going on with grievances at Flagler, for example, where you filed the grievance, you won the grievance, and management still hasn't satisfied their end of the grievance. Well, you type that situation in there, and it gives you outcomes based on the information that you provide to the application. Self-funded, not endorsed by anyone or any agency. Totally necessary, if you ask me, because sometimes you can't find anyone to help you. I mean, I went through it. I'm still going through it. I can't even find no one to answer my phone calls or nothing, you know? It's hard. So having that little, you know, application, you can just pull it up on here in your tablet or your phone, the TV. Again, even in your car, if you have a car with a touch screen and a web browser, you can just go online and get an answer, you know, instead of waiting. We're not lawyers or anything, but like sometimes you want an answer to make you feel better. You want to see tangible, like the way I read these disclaimers that I read every week, or every live session, etc. You want that reinforcement. I think that's a great tool. I think that it's gonna go real far if he applies himself to it. I gave him some information to add to the program, and I'm hoping that it helps in some small way, you know. Whether he uses it or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just happy somebody thought of it, because it's important. Honestly, guys, as I said earlier, today's not been a good day. I've been reflecting a lot on my life lately. Yeah. Choices, decisions, my past, my present, my future even. It's been hard. In any case, yeah. So, with that in mind, if I knew what I knew 1 year ago, what I know now, I would tell myself, don't do it. Stay where you are. Transfer back to wherever and just wait out the storm. But it's too late for that now. My dad used to say something, and every time I say it, my wife gets pissed at me. But you know what? If you really think about the logic behind it, she's over here chuckling because she knows what I'm going to say already. You know? My dad passed away about 4 years ago due to COVID. Yeah, and I didn't get to say goodbye. I was too busy chasing the postal dream. Yeah. Anyway, he used to tell me when I would imagine things I can do dreaming. He used to tell me, dreams are for fairies and you're no fucking fairy. And I would stand there and be like, what? My dad was he was a sergeant in the National Guard, Army National Guard, and the quartermaster too. So his language, you couple that with the fact that he was a grandmaster in the martial arts too. So I didn't have it easy. I had to, you know, straight and narrow. But in any case, yeah. But I say that with much optimism now than before. I would say it just anger. Now I catch myself saying it when I hit a brick wall, and it's a wall that I'm not supposed to hit, but for some reason I keep hitting the brick wall. Like with this situation here. How does anyone do the right thing and still get in trouble? I've never heard of that before. At all. So it's something to think about, guys. I'm not saying don't tell the truth. Do I regret my decision? Sometimes I do. Not all the time. And let me elaborate on that a bit more. I don't agree telling the truth. I don't regret telling the truth. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't regret telling the truth. And if I had the opportunity to do it again, I would do the same thing. And here's why. Because another thing my dad used to tell me was, my life you may take, but my integrity never. So with that being said, if all I have is my integrity and I keep lying, or I tell a lie, or act like I didn't see anything, how does that fix the problem? How does that fix anything? Right now we have both sides of the aisle trying to kill each other. This person said this, that person said that, and no side has integrity. And I can say that due to the fact that, well, those of you that have been following know my situation. Yeah, I reached out to Congress. Yeah, I reached out to the Senate. You understand? No, it doesn't fix anything, Jess. I agree. It doesn't fix anything. And you guys, you have any questions? I mean, you guys don't get on here to hear me ramble now, do you? No questions for anybody? Just anything in the chat so far?
Not yet.
No? Okay.
Someone did say, what have you learned in the last 6 months?
Who was that?
What have you learned in the last 6 months?
Oh, somebody wrote that? Or was that you?
Me.
Oh, what did I learn these last 6 months? Okay, well, that's an interesting question. What did I learn these last 6 months? I learned to document everything. I learned to read. I learned not to depend on my associations - unions. I learned to do things myself because I didn't have that representation. Now, without going too much into that fiasco, because again, that's now in the hands of important people now that are going to handle that for me. But in regards to that, I will say that I didn't have anyone to advocate for me. And when they advocated for me, it was subpar. It was, how do you know more about the policy than the person that's supposed to be advocating for you? You know why? Because no one reads. No one reads the policy. No one studies their rights. No one wants to know. They want to just pay a union or pay this person and they do it all for you. Guys, what happens if you run into a situation like myself where you have no one? Subpar is being very nice. I agree, Scipio. You know I gotta be like, nonchalant. Let's use that term. Travis, what's going on, brother? Oh, Idris is in here. How you doing, brother? All right. My boy's in the room. I have friends all over the world, and I normally don't have issues with anyone. I try to just do my thing. I help people outside of what I'm doing now for you guys with the Postal Truth. I actually do other things on the side. Like I manage fraternal things that I do to kind of get my mind off of my situation because it's a difficult situation. So I'm always busy trying to fix my own stuff. But in any case, you know who your friends are. You know in the end who you can trust and who you cannot trust. You know that if you're in a room full of 50, 60 people and only 5 or 10 that you know out of those 50, 60 people come and support you here, you know who those friends are. The search for inner peace is the long road. Yeah, it is. You want to give up sometimes. I will say that. But yeah, 6 months ago, had I known the things that I've known now, I would have probably stayed in BV. Maybe. I don't know. Or transferred out of Miami. Somehow, some way. Definitely, brother. Thank God it's over. The retrograde. Travis is a mentor. He and Idris both mentor an astrology group that is very, very, very knowledgeable. And sometimes I talk to them and I say to myself, Jesus Christ, my head's spinning. But yeah, again, you got to do other things. And this is, if there's a takeaway from today, because again, I was being hesitant about doing the live today because I said to myself, it's a terrible day for me. Thanksgiving was fantastic. I mean, I cooked with Jesse all day. We were both back and forth in that kitchen, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it was great. And then, now I gotta, do this, and it was a little hard for me. What do you want to say to all those people who are victims to the work environment and feel scared to talk or scared to be interviewed? Okay. Personal opinion. Just my own personal thoughts. Let's break that down. Victims to the work retaliation environment that I went through. Remember, what I'm going through is scary. It's very scary. You go from having a perfect record to being accused of things you didn't even do. Someone else signed the paperwork, but for some reason they still blame you. It's documented, so I can't mention that. You go from trying to get help to there's nothing wrong with him. How it's just scary. But you have to speak up, because if you don't, again, it's not going to get fixed. I agree, Travis. Yeah, I agree. If we all came together and spoke up, remember there's more of us than them. What are they going to do? Send the whole post office home? Who moves the mail? I'm not saying go on strike. That's against the law. We don't want you to break the law. But getting a little emotional, I apologize. But if you're going to be scared, and you're going to go to work scared, that's not a way to live. Scare money makes no money. We know that already. That's right. I agree. I agree, Travis. Everybody can't tell the same lie. I mean, if I'm telling you they're doing this, and Tina told you guys that they're doing this, and this person said this, and that person said that, and there's proof documented everywhere, how the hell they keep saying there's nothing wrong, nothing to see here, just move along? What? To my EASs out there, yeah, this fucking sucks. But Guys, we took an oath, man, to do the right thing. And if these individuals in any district, I don't care where you're from, we took an oath to do the right thing. Protect the mail. And if these guys want to lie because they're chasing bonuses, we don't have to be like them. So, yeah, speak up. I would say speak up. Build the courage up when you're ready and say something. But don't wait too long, because that'll be weaponized against you too. Well, why did you wait so long? Because it's an intimidation thing, you know? It's what they get away with for so damn long. And they'll just keep on. And it's a real shame. Let me see. I know there was, oh, here we go. So, what do you want to say to those people? Okay, yep, we went over that. Feel scared, yep. Just do it, you know? And Lino said, hit 1,000, said it, and 1,000 other postal workers have proof and have been talking. Speak loud and proud. Jessica's right. I agree, Travis. I agree. If you guys don't put your foot down and you don't say something, I'm not going to lie to you. This road, walking those desert sands alone is hard, man. Those sands burn. Those desert sands burn. And they burn even more when you're alone and you got no one to confide in. But if you don't make a change, no one ever will for you. You will continue to be harassed. You will be continued to be bullied, gaslit. They'll use their dark psychology on you. Has anybody looked into dark psychology and the effects of dark psychology? I highly recommend it. I was going to work on some projects with that before to kind of teach people about it. Not as a professional, but kind of as a third-party observer. But if you read the basics of dark psychology, it is the way people use gaslighting, manipulation, lies, deterioration, and anything of the mind to manipulate people into doing what they want to do. That includes systemic abuse. That's all in the realms of dark psychology. They got a bunch of stuff on YouTube. You can look it up. AI videos that talk about it, regular videos. Yeah, I agree, Travis. Yeah. You know, if you stay upright and you do what you're supposed to do, guys, we won't have this problem. So these victims. Okay, that's a good question. What advice would you give these victims, family, friends, on how to be more supportive and understanding? Again, every situation is unique and different in its own spirit things. But if I had to tell my friends, like right now, a bunch of these people in the room are my close friends, and they're coming to me and they're supporting me and taking a few minutes out of their day to just put on Facebook to hear me rant about something that they know nothing about. Those are friends. You have individuals that will look to try to find stuff on you. Those are not your friends. Those are just the dark psychology users, the manipulators, the masterminds to everything, trying to exploit everything because they got to have the leg up. But here's the thing. In order to get your leg up, you have to first learn how to walk. And if you can't walk upright, you're not going to get your leg up that high. So normally I say what I really, really, really feel. But given my new situation, it was advised that I do not do that anymore. So I won't. Because I actually want a fair chance to do this and plead my case and tell the judge what's happening here. Because I think that everyone needs to know the truth, whether they like it or not. Yeah, so it's not going to be a long session today, but here's some takeaways from this, and we're going to kind of go down the line here. If you know someone going through problems, try to support them. Yes, there will be times that you really don't want to be around them because they piss you off. Even we're human. The emotional state this puts you in, I agree, Scipio. It's a shame because I never in a million years, I believe I mentioned this earlier, never in a million years that I ever knew that telling the truth would still get me in trouble. Yeah, people definitely need to speak up. Because again, individuals that they master the art of gaslighting. What advice would I give my future self? That is a very difficult question for me at this time. Because I don't even know what to tell my current self, let alone my future self. Anybody else have any questions? Something they want information on concerning their own situation? Any questions about policy or anything like that? You know, again, this is an open forum. Jesse's checking the chats to make sure we don't miss anybody. Because my screen, for some reason, doesn't show me everything. I guess because I'm the one doing the live. Nothing? Okay. All right, then we'll just keep going. You guys need to speak up. You need to learn your rights. Because all rights and all work environments are different. And I don't mean you guys normally get along with management and management normally gets along with you. And then all of a sudden you have one misunderstanding and then right away, I'm not telling you to run right to the union when that happens. Listen, I'm a person like you and everyone else. And I don't always have the best day like you guys do. I have my moments too. So for you to say that all management is evil, I mean, everyone has a right to their opinion, but I don't think I'm evil. I was always fair. So, yeah. What are the policies? Okay, so for new people, depending on your craft, okay, we'll start from, let's start from what I know. Clerks. The first 90 days, they're watching you, everything you do. As a provisional clerk or a holiday season clerk, you have to prove yourself. It sucks. The hours are terrible. You hate your fucking life. But hang in there. Because it does get better. You will lose weight if you're working in the plant, for example, because you're back and forth. And it's not all crazy. Sometimes you actually enjoy doing that. You enjoy working. You enjoy the independence of learning. Okay? So, yeah, everything else sucks, but remember, I'm sure you're going to find one or two people there that understand what you're going through, and they'll sit down like this and talk to you and tell you, hey, yeah, it fucking sucks, but keep going. That's for that. Carriers. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me in Montana with a carrier. So we had a new PTF come in because Montana started hiring the PTFs. There was no CCAs in Montana. There were, but then it kind of like changed. I don't remember the exact story. It's been a while since I've been there. But this guy, just for all intents and purposes, the gentleman came in as a PTF. Okay, and I was a carrier supervisor, acting as I was on detail as a carrier supervisor in Billings, Montana, and this guy, I see him, real sluggish. And I said, looked at him. Says, his first day out, calls me up, says, how you doing, sir? I'm feeling kind of sick. I says, what do you mean you're feeling kind of sick? Well, I feel sick. I feel like throwing up. Okay. So you want to go home? He's like, well, no, I don't want to go home. I'm just saying that I'm going to be a little slow. And I says, well, you have two choices. You can barf it out and keep going, or you can go home. I mean, I just need to know what you're going to do. And he turned around and says, no, I'm going to keep going. I says, okay. Kept going. Came back. Yeah. I mean, I didn't mistreat the guy. I asked him, do you want to go home? I just need to know. You have to tell me. You know what I mean? So I can get someone to fill in the route, pick up the route and keep going. You know what I mean? Because I'm closing. And the guy turns around and goes, yeah, no, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep going. So comes back. He's dragging his feet, and I looked at him. He says, you finished the route, huh? Yeah, man. It was like, wow. Okay. That next day he called out. And I said, oh, man, he called out in his first 90 days. Did anyone not tell this guy anything? Okay. I didn't see him for 2 days after that. He came back to work. I says, welcome back. Yeah, hey, Angel. I says, you feel better now? Yeah, man, like, I was sick for like 2 days. I don't know what happened to me. And I said, okay, well, it's the job. I wish I had words of wisdom for you, but that's what it is, You're going to carry mail. I mean, that's what you signed up for. Just like when I came on, I signed up to be a window clerk. I was actually a distribution clerk, and then I got an upgrade to the PTF position, PTF window clerk, and then I became a supervisor. Well, it's the job, Okay, no problem. And then he goes, yeah, man, I don't know if this is for me. And I says, well, what do you mean you don't know it's for you? You just started like a couple days ago, He's like, well, look at me. He was a big and tall guy, He says, I got to walk all day. And I says, listen, man, just try it for a couple more days, see what happens. And if you want to, hang it up, then you gotta talk to the station manager. Okay, and kind of just go from there. Said okay. Next day he comes in, dragging his feet again. He worked, came back, worked, come back. He did it for about a week. That was during winter. He slips in the street, but he doesn't fall. He kind of like slips and kind of, just like he got nervous or whatever. He doesn't fall or anything. And he calls me up. He's like the sidewalks are all iced up and everything. And I said to him, I says, are you wearing your cleats? He goes, well, they didn't give me none. They didn't give you cleats? No. Stop right where you are. Don't move. Where are you? He told me where he was at. I went in the office. I got a pair of cleats and I drove them out to him. Here, put these on. The guy was nicer than shit. I really genuinely felt bad for him because he's trying, He didn't have any cleats. They let him go out there like that because, I'm the closer, so I don't know. By the time I get there, these guys are in the street already most of the time. You know what I mean? Unless I came in early to cover a shift for the morning or was helping out, But for the most part, I'm closing, so these guys are already in the road by the time I get there, I get there around 10, 11 o'clock. They're gone, Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I try to be fair. And again, using my own car because the Postal Service didn't have a car for me to drive around in. And if they did give you a car, it was fucking terrible. I mean, the heat was messed up. It was missing a mirror, tail light. Something happened to that damn car where you're like, yo, this is a death trap. I'm not going to make it. And you know what? I said, you know what? Fuck it. I went out there in my own car. So I had the all-wheel drive. I said, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to bring this man some cleats. Got a pair of brand new cleats from the storage room. And I took them out there to him and I gave them to him. Showed him how to put them on and everything. That man was so fucking happy. He grabbed my hands. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, you're a great manager. And I laughed and I told him, I says, thank you. I'm not a manager. I'm just a supervisor. Well, shit, you need to be the manager. That was the nicest thing. Agree on their past. Yeah, it's terrible. And here's the thing, like going off tangent slightly, Dorothy, we have VMF on site. So why are they not like fixing these cars the right way? That's their job. They get a salary to make sure those vehicles are reliable. Nope. Best, worst compliment ever. Yeah, I agree with that. They even told me to brake. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. You do a burnout, you spin. Brake with the emergency brake. You want to laugh at shit like this, but it's terrible. It's nuts. Brake. What is this, Fast and the Furious? The fuck, man? These are government vehicles. See what I mean? It's like, really? Brake with the e-brake. I'm sorry, Dorothy. I'm not laughing at you. That was just, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, but yeah, this is what I mean. The dude was so happy. He went out there, he finished his route, happier than a pig in shit. And he came back, had the biggest smile on his face. And then I says, you look better. He goes, I feel so much better now. And I says, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I finished my route and I actually finished on time today. Thank you so much for not letting me quit. And the dude came back every day after that and just did the same thing again, and again. Yeah, it is dangerous. That's nuts. E-brake, you'll be okay. Nothing to see here. I had a carrier come to me. You think that's bad? You need to hear this one. When I worked in BV, yeah, because this is documented, so I can say this. When I worked in Buena Vista, one of the gals comes in from the street. She calls me and says she's coming back to the station. I said, okay, why are you coming back to the station? She goes, the truck's fucked up. And I says, what? What do you mean? Stop, time out. She goes, no, the truck is fine, but the door fell off. And I said, wait, what door? She goes, the driver's side door fell off. And I said, wait, stop kidding, seriously? And she was like, I'm not even shitting you, Angel. The door fucking fell off. She was like pissed off because she only did half a route that day. I told her, get your ass back to the station and get another vehicle. She said, oh, I'm already on the way. I said, where's the door? Yeah, Chevrolet crap. Yeah, man. Yeah. I said, where's the door? She goes, I put it in the back. I put in the with the mail in the back. I says, does your seatbelts work? She said, yeah. I got them both on. I got the top and the bottom. Okay. All right. Girl, you better not drive faster than the speed limit and bring your ass back to this station and get another truck. She turned around. She said, all right, I'll be there in like 15 minutes. I said, okay. She gets back to the station. She comes in, she gets me. She goes, you want to see this shit? And I said, yeah, I got to see this. So I took one of the VMF forums with me out there. And she showed me the door and I just started like, what the fuck? The whole, that whole LLV door for the driver's side came off. Like, it came off. Like, there's no door, literally. And I'm saying to myself, these are the vehicles they put our people in. And you can't make sure they're safe and reliable. But you want to fight them over grievances and money because they caught you in violations? Really? I submitted the VMF ticket, and yeah, they reattached the door, and yeah, but wow. I've speaking of VMF, I've submitted requisitions before, right? Because you got to do it on the computer, and I would submit the requisition, right, for VMF to come and pick up the vehicle, and they would leave the shit there for like a week, sometimes 2 weeks before they actually come get it. And then they'll say, oh, we just got it. How did you guys just get it? Like, it's been in there for a week already. Okay. Another thing they were doing, another thing that VMF was doing was every time the manager pissed them off, they will go and write it up as shop repair. So now you're down an LOV because the shit's in the shop now. That's something else they don't normally talk about. Another thing they don't talk about is, well, not VMF, but now we're talking about just mail stations in general, postal stations in general, is the political mail issue. When I worked in Buena Vista, they didn't even have a proper political mail log in the finance unit. So they wasn't documenting it properly. When I was stationed over there, I cleaned up the station and created a new political mail section with all the updates and all the information and all the notifications from headquarters, blah, 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 blah. Put it all together real nice and neat and everything. And yeah, I even went as far as creating them a hazard area for the mail. You know, a hazard stationary area, because that's supposed to be in the back of the building in case something blows up in the box that's in there or whatever. You know, that's why they always put it in the back of the building, away from the staff and away from the customers, right? Well, I don't know who did it, so I can't even, and even if I could, I would not even say their name, because I'm not allowed to by law. But someone took the GPC that I had back there, stationed for hazard mail only. It was a hazard mail station set. It was the whole thing set up for hazardous mail and waste and everything. They took all the shit off and used the GPC to send mail out the station. Instead of grabbing a cart from the outside, bringing it in like they were supposed to, and loading it up. But because there was no oversight at the location, because management was separate from them, they pretty much did what they wanted there until they sent me over there to kind of just like control the situation. And again, when I got there, that's when I realized shit was bad for them. So it wasn't, my initial impression of the situation was, oh, these clerks are lazy. They just don't want to work. But then the longer I hung out there, the longer I saw that they really were working. And it wasn't them. It was the fact that they were overwhelmed. So to do the right thing, because I'm always, you know, I was always team oriented. I actually told them, just keep bringing up customers, because that freaking line will go out the door. Just keep bringing up customers. I'm gonna load the GPCs. And that's what the clerks did. The gals rang up all the customers. They handled all the questions and everything. And I just loaded the GPCs. And then brought out the GPCs for them and brought a new one in so they could just not have to get up. Just keep working. And we was always out of there on time because of it. But you know what? Again, people get the wrong impression of managers. Oh, my Lord, help us. Shit really hits the fan. They can't refuse to hand. Yeah, you're right. They don't. That's a separate issue, Dorothy. They love to bark policy at you when they want to get you in trouble and perform corrective action. But when the policy relates to something they're doing, oh, no, we didn't do that. There's nothing to see here. Fucking space agents and shit. You can't even find them nowhere. And that's the God honest truth, you know. I do not know what's in this tea, but it's amazing. But yeah. Long story short, guys, here's the takeaways from this. So again, I didn't have anything laid out today because again, it was a bad day. I wasn't focused at all. I was not happy. I was a little bummed out. Let's just say bummed out. Okay. But in any case, as I was typing the message to say, you know what, I'll reschedule for tomorrow, something said you got to get on and do it. You got to push past it and stop being a fairy. So I stopped being a fairy and got on the damn live session, you know, and kind of tell you, yeah, the tea is really good. Ooh, that's nice. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dorothy. It's been hard. Lino's been calling me and check on me too, you know, and we spoke earlier. We spoke on the phone. He's a good guy. It's a shame that he has a bad hand too in the situation. He did the right thing too, and I can't understand. Oh, you're good, brother. Take care. Safe driving, okay? Thank you, Idris. Be safe driving. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good, Dorothy. It kind of keeps me mellow. I've been getting into that tea lately. But yeah, guys, you have to learn the elm. Okay? I can't stress this enough. Learn the elm. Learn the postal handbook. It usually is a handbook EL. They have other things in their policies that are separate, but yet they work with the L. Don't ask me how that works. It just does. It's structured that way. They kind of go together. So you want to learn the postal handbook. You want to learn the ELM. Very important to learn the ELM. You want to learn your contract. Study your union contracts. If you're in the association, your EAS, study the contract for NAPS and UPMA. One thing that I will say about learning these things, it's only helping you. It's helping you. Each one, teach one. I believe Denzel Washington said that. Each one, teach one. Well, there you go. I have nothing but time on my hands. So I'm dedicated to helping those who are still fighting for as long as I'm here. And yes, I will have my days where it's a up and down thing. Because again, this isn't easy at all. By a long shot, it's not easy. But you guys got it. You guys keep me going. So thank you. Thank my friends for tolerating my shit. Because, you know, I am, sometimes I can be difficult. My wife especially. She doesn't deserve any of this. My son doesn't deserve any of this. Fuck, the dog doesn't even deserve this shit. And all she does is eat and poop all day. You know, but it's not easy. Not easy at all. But yeah. Yeah, I actually have a nice patio back here. I may do something like that. It's a great idea, Dorothy. Thank you. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I may do some. I used to have a pepper farm, little pepper farms, and then I got the supervisor position, and they kind of died on me. I was never home. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you, Dorothy. Guys, I'm going to leave you there. Before I do, mental health is extremely important. And I'm not saying this because I'm in this situation. This situation only helped manifest the desire to learn more about it. Mental health is important. If you're not feeling good, you feel depressed, you feel like doing something drastic, we've all been there. Get help. See a doctor. See a nurse practitioner. Call your best friend. And just get help. Don't deal with it alone. I'm glad Jessie's here, because even though with all my ups and downs, she's still here. She's still trying to push me. And I don't know what I would do without her. Scipio calls me every day. And then I come and I talk to you guys twice a week. So that's really helpful too. And although I don't get to see all of you, I hope to meet everybody one day. That would be fucking awesome. Kind of get together and do something cool, like a Postal Truth barbecue or something. That'd be cool, you know? Yeah, I love barbecues. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go here. It's Sunday. We're in peak season. Remember, if you're in the winter, make sure you have your cleats, your hand warmers, your toe warmers. Dress warm because it's fucking cold. Don't be a superhero. The Postal Service don't give a shit. Just protect yourself, okay? If you're in down south like me, you know the weather changes here radically. 1 minute it's sunny, then it's thunderstorming. Like this afternoon, just thunderstorm all day. Make sure you got your rain gear. Make sure your stuff is good. Protect yourself, protect your families. Work safely to go home safely. That is the Postal Truth. And I leave you here. Have a good night. Have a safe week. And we'll see you on Thursday.